Hey everyone, welcome to the final video we're going to make on this Black Rose lesson. The final difference section. We will talk about the outro, which is kind of like the intro riff, basically, with a bit of lead over the top. But for this section here, which I played at the start of the video, it's going to be using a technique called alternate. Well, it is alternate picking, but it's called tremolo picking. That's kind of the name people use for it. But it's basically up and down alternate picking on the same string and the same note. You can move the note around though. So that's it, with a bit of mutedness going on. Without it, that's the sort of thing we're going for. I'm not going to give a lesson on tremolo picking today because we just kind of want to go through the song. But we're going to start off. There's key notes I think that we want to land on where the bass does a certain note, and because it's kind of free-ish time, trying to play along with the track and get them exactly to how they, got it timing-wise, doesn't always happen. But anyway, we start to go for these three notes. Okay, so that's the D note, the 10th fret to the 12th fret to the 15th on the high E. And then we're going to go, okay, which is 14, 12, 10. And then we're going to go into the 7th fret on the high E here, when the bass note lands on its next note. You can kind of slide in here if you want. So it'll be, then after that we'll go to the 8th and then the 10th. And then it'll go down to the 2nd fret, all the way down here. And then it'll go, after we played that 2nd fret for a while, again free-ish time, kind of want to move to the 3rd and then the 5th fret. And then we're going to go back to the 7th. Okay, so it's, which is the 7th fret. Then we kind of slide down to the 5th, back to the 7th. Hold that 7th fret with a few more tremolo picks. There we go. Which is 12, 10, 7 again here. Then we go, and that is 5, 3 on the high E, and then we slide into this 5th fret on the B. Then we'll go down to the 3rd fret, then listen to the bass notes again as they change, then we'll move up to the 8th and then the 10th, so it'll go. Okay, maybe a little bit slower than that. It's kind of a. That's kind of where that ends on. So again, the timing is kind of hard to talk about really. It's just there are key notes for the bass notes, and you want to look out for those, and then listen on the track, or if you can find someone who's good at covering it, have a listen to, or listen to the start of this. This is it's pretty close. Timing wise, basically we're trying to listen out for those bass notes, and then the basically the passing notes that come between, and that's how we'll figure out basically the timing for it. And if you were to play this live, your bass player might play it a little bit different anyway. It's more of a communication thing, I would say. If you were to play this live, think of it more as a communication effort, on stage, rather than just trying to be exactly how the track is timing wise, because it's free time, you know. It's just never really going to happen that way. So basically think about which notes that you're using, which will, you know, be part of the bass notes that kind of are playing. So what note are you playing over the when the bass note changes, basically? So we have the so that note there again will be a new bass note change. And then that one there. Then back to that. That note there will be a new bass note change. And then the last two will be as well. So it's really the way I would go about talking about how to play it time-wise. So yeah, just have a listen, just really focus on going over it. I've given you the notes. You can kind of really perfect as much as possible the timing for that. So the final section, we have this riff that comes in again, that we already know. We already know that riff, but what is going on over the top? We have some lead guitar that you'll hear in the mix. A lot of it's kind of a little bit buried in the mix. It's supposed to be that way, but it's just something to add, you know, to the final bit. It's kind of a fade out, and you'll, like a lot of songs do that, they just kind of vamp on a riff and then they fade out with a bit of lead guitar, and it sounds to me like it's being improvised. So I wouldn't worry too much about, you know, what exactly it's playing, but we'll talk about what you could play. So just know that the song is actually in the key of E minor, right? So if you know the E natural minor scale, we have anything like that. It's going to fit in with it over the riff. You can just do all sorts of little things. Let's just play along and make something up, okay? But you get where I'm coming from, you know. It's all going to fit in. You can play around with the scales, play around with some little twiddles and bits and bobs, and make your own phrases up and some bends. Have a listen to what's going on there. Maybe it might give you some ideas. Yeah, so what more can I say? It just kind of fades out there. If you're playing it in a band, maybe find some covers, maybe find how they ended it when they played it live. Yeah, I would say there's a version, what was it called, that Gary Moore played. It's in Dublin. I think it's called One Night in Dublin. And Gary Moore, Scott Gorham, they were playing it. And have a listen to how they ended it. Find that video. And yeah. Or you can figure out your own way with your own band on how to end it. It's up to you. So, thanks for watching this video, and if you've learned something from it, awesome. And as I said in the past, you know, feel free to subscribe and share with anyone you think might want to learn stuff like this, and you know, it all helps out, because, you know, just putting out free content and any help from you guys is appreciated, as I will always say. So thank you very much, and I'll see you again for the next video. Don't know what that's going to be yet, but we'll figure that out.